For every hour that you take away from your kid, ask yourself, how much is that time worth to you? Because that's what you're doing. So if it doesn't significantly increase your income and how much you're willing to sell your kid's hour of time for, just remember you're selling your kid's time for $100.
The reason you don't feel like you're going anywhere is because what I tell you, you don't implement mentally and just like behaviorally and like thinking like a bodybuilder 24/7, 365. You're not implementing it, so you're not reaping the benefit.
You know, having a consistent routine and schedule with what I'm getting done, when I'm getting it done type of thing has always been tough for me because my mind wanders a lot and I'll get on one thing and then.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Business Brains and Bronze, everybody. It has been some weeks since we have gathered here together. We've been doing tons of traveling. Mike and I have been doing tons of traveling. Taylor has not been doing tons of traveling, but he brought life into this world. So that's even better than traveling, to be honest. Like, let's be real. So honestly, I think it's a good spot to start out at there is just like talking about how each of our lives have drastically changed in the past, month or so. Taylor, you've probably had the most impactful change in your life. So give us some rundown there.
Yeah, man. It's been a little bit rough, not gonna lie. I was talking to
Really?
Mike about it the other day. I mean, it's been great, don't get me wrong, but like, um, we Grayson had she got an infection that like is normal or common that you get with breastfeeding. Um, so that was like she was sick for a little bit, and then um, the baby ended up getting thrush in his mouth from breastfeeding. So we're still like he's on antibiotics right now, and just a lot of like new changes, finding what formula works and stuff like that, because it basically isn't producing enough milk to keep up with how much he's eating. So we're still having to use some formula and like just figuring out. So she'll have like he's been having an upset stomach this past week, like, and just he likes to sleep all day and stay up all night. And so we've been trying to find the routine and stuff like that. So it's definitely been a lot. My body's starting to get used to 5 to 6 hours of sleep instead of my normal 7 to 9. But yeah, we're pushing. He's healthy though, so can't complain. Everything is good. So I mean, fatherhood's definitely like the best thing that's ever happened to me. Also, probably one of the biggest challenges so far. And I know it gets easier, like it's just a time thing, but um, just figuring out like priorities and time management and stuff has been super important because now I want to be able to with him and you know take take him off of Grayson's hands so that she's not the only one taking care of him all day every day. And so like when he lays down for a nap, it's like, okay, I gotta go. Like I gotta work. I got 1 to 2 hours of sprint work that I need to get done. And, just breaking that up. It's not the normal, like, oh, I have, all day to get this done and can kind of just work as I please throughout the day. It's more so like, now's my time. I gotta go. I gotta get this done because I know he's gonna be awake in 2 hours and ready to eat and scream and cry. So that's probably been the biggest change. But it's a good change, because I've always been horrible at time management, just to be honest. I wouldn't say horrible, like, I still get done more than most people get done in a day, but, like, just, having a consistent routine and schedule with what I'm getting done, when I'm getting it done type of thing has always been tough for me, just because my mind wanders a lot, and I'll get on one thing, and then it leads me to the next, which leads me to the next, which leads me to the next, and I never finish the first thing that I started. Um Mike and I have had a lot of conversations about this, but so yeah, it's definitely helped and been tough at the same time, but it's been great.
Good, man. Good. I feel like I mean, just from what I've heard, I feel like, yeah, obviously, like the beginning stages when they're young are like super challenging. But once, I think, who did I hear this from? I think James Hollings said it. It's like once you're able to, as the parent, see the connection,
Mhm.
it's like, right, they're going to be connected to mom for
Yep.
so long,
Yep.
like, and they know who you are, I guess, but they don't really have that connection with you. But like once they reach that point where they can differentiate faces and voices, I feel like
Mhm.
that's when things can really turn around for the father when they're
Yep.
like, oh, like I have been noticed this entire time.
Mhm. And he's definitely like um he's definitely still like Grayson can make him stop crying quicker than I can, right? Like, but he understands like who I am and is comforted and stuff like that. But it's just more so like figuring it out. She has that kind of natural mother instinct of like just being able to calm him down and
Mhm.
make it be quiet um, a lot quicker than I can. So we're working on it, but and also she has a way higher threshold for of patience than I do, so that helps a lot. But we're working on that as well.
Yeah, no, I get that, dude. The patience there, that goes for me too if I had a kid. Yikes. But anyway, Mike, so you've been traveling a ton. You've been going to shows, you've been doing
Yeah,
booths. I've seen you at 5 or 6 shows here this year so far.
mhm.
Is what it seems like. But yeah, we've both been crazy busy, dude. Um, you
Yeah,
bit
this
off.
past weekend is the first
Yeah,
weekend I've been home in 3 months.
yeah. You bit off a huge fucking chunk. Of,
Yeah.
and you were telling me, I think you were telling me at Junior Nationals, you were like, you never just meeting out the lobby, and you're like, bro, I'm ending this shit a day early. I'm going home early. I got to go home.
Yeah, Team U, I
Uh,
went home a day early to spend 4th of
that's what
July
it
with the
was.
wife, and, it was good, but, actually, Team U was the best event we'd been to yet. I mean, we got, like, 20 coaches we ended up booking calls with. It was it's compounding. So, the first one you do, it's like, no one knows you. Second one, it's like, no one knows you. Then you see a coach or a client at one and they bring somebody to the booth, and then you sell a few hats, and then somebody else wears a hat that bought it from the previous show you were at, and then they starts to see. And then at Team U, there were like 30 people wearing our hats all at the same time. And at that point, it just becomes where it's kind of like, you go to a wedding and it's like, you got like 2 or 3 people dancing, and it's like, this kind of weird. And then it's 4, and then 5, and then 7, and all of a sudden it goes from 7 to 25 to 50 in a matter of 2 minutes compared to 10 minutes to build up to 5. It's just that the snowball, right? Domino effect, to where now it's like every show people are waiting for us to be there to get a hat. But like, hey man, you were sold out at the last one. I'm gonna be at the next one, blah, blah, blah. So it's like people are seeking us out now. And every hat is a conversation that comes with an Instagram to start a bigger conversation. Cause then I'm like, hey man, hat's $20. They're like, $20. I'm like, hey man, I don't sell hats for a living. I was like, I just know you're a coach, right? And they're like, yeah. Boom. And then entry starts. So it's been really cool to meet a lot of great coaches. It's also really cool to see how many clients that are at them that we didn't expect to see. So I've just had so many just continued built relationships. So it's been a lot of fun. This weekend I got Chicago, USA's, while Dan's going down to summer shredding. And then we've got the Tampa Pro. And then I won't be traveling anymore for the month of August, but I have the Texas Pro. And that's it. At least
I'll
until
see you
North
this weekend.
Americans, and then it's the second half of the season after that. So
Yeah, I know. I'll see you this weekend. I'll see you at Chicago, and I'll see you at Tampa. We got invited down. Me and the guys got invited down to Tampa,
dope.
for a gym opening, but it's like opening in.
I thought you were gonna say guest posing.
Oh, hell no, dude. Hell no. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. I may be the one bodybuilder that will never guest pose. I don't like it. I don't like it, bro. Like, not gonna lie, even if I'm at a show, a regional show, and they have a guest poser, unless it's like fucking Samson, okay, I don't enjoy when they come into the crowd and pose. Like, it's just not my thing, you know. Like, I've been asked to guest pose at a couple shows here in Wisconsin, and I denied each one of them. I'm like, not my thing. I'm first off, nobody wants to see me pose, okay, and second, it's like, it's not my brand, bro. Like, it's not me, you know. Like, I'm the bodybuilder. Like, if I'm going on stage, I'm not going to put much in my routine. Like, I'm going to pose, okay? But my routine, my individual posing routine to music is not going to be anything fancy. That's just not me. I don't do it for that. I'm not.
Yeah,
Look at that as the art of bodybuilding for sure. Like, they can
sure.
look at it in that sense.
I
And
don't
yeah,
even view guest posing as an art. I view you guys
No.
posing at like a local show. It's like, look how freaking big that dude is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what it's viewed as. Cause I remember as a competitor, right? Young guy, I remember I've seen Flex do it. Right. Of course, Flex is Flex, but this is also back in like '09, right? This is a long time ago. Um, but I just remember there's these different types of pros that would come out, and it's like they've been in for 10 years, and it didn't matter the level of the pro they were. It was just that amount of size in a sport that you're involved in, like you have to look up to it, especially to all
Yeah.
those younger inspiration kids looking to go pro. So I hear you. I also think that um I think that it like doesn't say anything about a person, nor is it not you. I think that you are an inspiration to others. I do think that people would enjoy it. I do think the realness that you bring from a social media perspective to that would also open up. I think you would have fun with it. I also think you'd be really nervous at the same time because it is outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But it's like that's also where growth is, right? So like at this point, I've done 15 shows. I've spoken on stage. I've gotten in front of people that pay me money in my underwear to do that. Pose off with Brad is my last event. So I'm just like, I'll do it. You know, I've done photo shoots in New York City where I'm like in the middle of people walking by. So like, it's real weird, but then you just be like, it's what it is.
No, I get you. I get you. And I think most of it, it's coming from just like a selfish version of me. Like, would I be nervous? Totally, you know, but it's more so like I'll purposely put myself in those uncomfortable situations, but like I get noticed for my size enough the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to now be just the focal point of like 300 people. um, but I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, fuck. What was I getting at? Oh, Tampa. I'll see you in Tampa, dude. I have one of my best friends, Lance. He has somebody competing this weekend in Chicago, so I'm going down there to support him and then get some hostile content. But
He's with
Tampa's
Lacey
gonna
now,
be fun.
right?
What's that?
He's coaching with Lacey now, right?
Yes, and I actually just met with him last night for a 2-hour call, Lance, and just going over peak week because he's only put 3 people on stage in total. And Lacey has, oh, actually 4 now because Sam. Lacey's helped him a ton. But obviously, Lacey's busy as hell too.
Mhm.
So I was out fishing the other night and he called me and he's like, dude, I'm tripping about this peak week. Like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, it's fine. I'll call you tomorrow. We'll go over everything. It's just very new to him with like, hey, when it comes to peak week, these are the things you got to be looking at. Like this is the
Mhm.
data collection that you should kind of shift your mind towards, like weights before meals, after going to the bathroom, everything, 3 hours apart for meals. If you're doing 6 meals, how are you separating carbs? How are you separating water? Are you going to be doing potassium pulsing for this individual? What to look for if you are going to do potassium pulsing, whatever. So he's definitely being under Lacey. He's put into a new side of coaching he's never seen before.
Mhm.
It's a side of coaching where he has to be on his toes more. And he's noticing that. So, which is really good, but it's also, I mean, we get nervous, man. Every peak week I get excited and I get nervous, it's just part of it and it's part of the love for it. But it's cool seeing him have like an actual competitor that could actually have a shot at, beating other good competitors and how much more attention to detail he has to pay attention to, which is cool. And I want my friends to, like, he sent me a long message this morning just thanking me for last night, just going over peak week stuff and kind of changing up his drug protocol approach. And he's very appreciative of it. And I'm just doing it because like I want to see him succeed. Like I'll share that knowledge. And I love it, man. He's doing good. But it's a long road ahead, dude. So but he's with Lacey. Dude, I've been traveling a ton. I've had 16 shows this year and I've had 25 people compete so far. And it has been wild.
Let's
It's
go.
been, it's my best year yet. For sure for coaching.
As it
Last year
should
was
be.
Yep. Last year was a freaking awesome year for coaching, dude. But this year has been a whole new level. Not gonna lie, the biggest help for me that's like with this year and how much traveling I've been doing is bringing my girlfriend with me. Like it's
Sure.
crazy. It's
That's how it
just
was
like,
last year for me.
yeah, yeah, dude, Grayson was with you everywhere. I
Yeah.
remember that,
Yep. And
especially at the
she was.
Arnold.
And then after a couple of shows too, they start to get in a routine of like, hey, they start to find like where they fit in, kind of, if that makes sense. Like I always told Grayson, like if you want to just come with me, watch the show, and stay in the hotel room the rest of the time, that's perfectly fine with me. But she would start to, hey, I got you food, like, hey, do you need this? Do you need that? Like actually wanting to look at my guys posing and getting interested in it. And it took a little bit for sure, but it it started to pay off, and that it
Yeah,
was so much better. Um, we might be bringing the baby to North Americans, which is going to be
Interesting.
different, but I don't know. I don't know. We're
Yeah,
still
it'd be
deciding.
fun. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
it would, but Grayson's still like, I don't know if we want to drive that far with him and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we're figuring it out, but that'll be. She'll definitely be cooped up in the room a lot more, and
yeah.
not in a. But yeah, it,
I
it
mean,
it definitely turned into be a big help with her coming like towards the end of the
yeah,
year last year.
and that's the thing too, bro. Like, I mean, because she graduated her nursing program in May, and I think
Uh-huh.
it was May. So the 20 months prior to that, she wasn't with me at the Olympia, the Arnold, any shows because that her sped up nursing program was so demanding where
Yeah.
she literally physically and mentally could not go and spend the time away. Um, so it was like, hey, perfect. We don't have time to do a vacation right now. We want to do a vacation down the road, but like, I want you here at these shows. It's going to help me a ton. You're going to get back in the swing of things with seeing what I'm doing, seeing how my job has changed since the last show you've been at with me 2 years ago, except for local shows. But like, yeah, finding like that role where there'd be days where it's, noon and I'm doing check-ins at the B&B and she's noticing that I haven't even ate anything yet, and I've been running around and she's like scheduling things out for me that like, she's like, hey, you remember you've got a call at this time. I'm like, shit, you're right. I got that call. She's doing some secretary shit. It was just it's been a huge help, man. But I'm glad that she wasn't at Universe because Universe was not a shit show.
I didn't
Universe,
even see you at Universe.
I know, bro. I was so busy, dude. I'm telling you, you
How many
guys,
people
I
did you have?
always come, huh?
How many people did you have competing?
My guy won the classic overall.
Oh yeah, that's right. I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, first of all,
Yeah. Congrats.
legit.
Congrats.
Like to not
Amazing.
only like pro card, right? It's obviously awesome, but to win overall,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what
that's
wasn't
a
he
big
shorter? What
deal.
class was he?
He was class B.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So he was,
seeing the shorter guys win the classic overalls.
I
And
know.
except for North Americans this year. But other than
Yeah.
that, I like seeing the shorter guys win.
Attaboy. I like that shit.
Because
It was,
you gotta be like if you're a short guy and you win the classic overall, that means you're legit. Because
yeah,
normally the tall guys are just genuinely bigger. Like it just is what it is.
Sure.
Like when last year when Lacey's got Dylan, he was class A and he won it. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like he just beat someone, 50, 60 pounds or whatever it is heavier than him. Like that's amazing.
exactly, dude. I mean, I literally afterwards I talked to Tyler and I talked to Steve and they were like, put him in Chicago or put him in Tampa. And then I kind of pushed back. Okay. I was like, are you guys telling me that just like more entry fees? Like, are you guys like, I did, I was honest, and I've been very honest in front of Tyler before when he's like giving me the wrong feedback of stage feedback. I'd be like, Tyler, I don't think you're talking about the same person. I'll show him my athlete. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh yeah, yeah. Okay. So, but I'm like, Tyler, do you really think like that's a first call out pro? He's like, do it. So we decided not to though, because first and foremost, him and the wife, that's more important. Like
Yeah.
him getting back to his kids, like bro, literally we had an Airbnb, then we got to the host hotel. Okay. Which is a whole debacle of that peak week. I'll tell you that. But after he won the overall and we're back in the hotel room, I heard him on FaceTime in the basement with his family. And just hearing his kids be like, Dad, we want you back here. We want to hang out with you. It was just, I was like, dude, this man needs to be out of prep. Like, could I put him in Chicago? He could mentally do it. He could physically do it. He's in a great position to do it. but the family, that's way more important, dude. So I made the kind of the executive decision for him, like, hey, we're going into a health phase. We're getting healthy. Let's grow for like 8 months. We've got, I mean, I had to get into his weight cap. It is hard getting to his amateur weight cap. But we've got more size to put on. Because, I mean, dude, if that home unit isn't operating the way it should, his mental and his bodies ain't going to operate the way it should, But bro, I tell you guys, everywhere I go, there's some type of story. Okay. This is the second time that an Airbnb has lost power in a peak week. And it happened in Detroit. It happened in New Jersey for Universe 2. And we only spent one night in our Airbnb because there was there's the World Cup going on. And then the day before I got in, and he couldn't even spend the night at the Airbnb that night because there was no parking. Okay. There's no parking anywhere near the Airbnb, nothing. So that he had to get a motel. And then I flew in. We make weight where his lips were like inside out because he was so dry and just so depleted to make weight. Made weight. We came back. It was rough, dude. Like I had to drive his truck because he drove out to Universe from Minnesota,
Oh my goodness.
bro. And he
Like
drove his
17,
truck.
18-hour drive?
Yeah, about 18 hours. It was absolutely wild. So he picked me up from the airport. From the airport, we went right to a Crunch Fitness. And because I flew into LaGuardia, so we were already down.
What? Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
Because LaGuardia broke. I needed a quick travel day, and every other airport that was like in the area of close to our Airbnb would have been like a 6 to 7 hour travel day because there's no direct flights from
There's
Milwaukee.
no directs to Newark?
None.
Man.
It was crazy.
It's so nice living in Dallas.
I know.
Like,
I
what do you
know.
Dallas
mean
is very nice
layover?
everywhere.
Layover?
I know,
Dallas-
dude. So
I'm gonna have
Dallas is
no
the
layover.
north-
I can get to London without a layover.
so yeah, like I just needed a quick like travel day. I'm like, I need to be there directly. I need a 2-hour flight. Like that's it. I don't want to be traveling for 6,
2-hour
7
flight
hours.
with 2 hours of driving.
Yeah. Oh, it was, dude, it was rough. I've drove through Manhattan before though. And, like I'm not used to it, but I've done it before. So I knew what to expect.
Yeah.
But like, we made weight and I didn't even ask for him to pose for me at Crunch. First off, Crunch, bro, these East Coasters, Northeast Coasters, for me to use the bathroom at Crunch, I had to fill out a waiver and I had to pay a day pass. Dog, to use the bathroom. And my athlete was just using the sauna. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, he gets out of the sauna, weighs himself. He's 183. His weight cap was 187. I'm like, all right, show me onto your legs. Shows me one of his legs. And I'm like, bro, get in the truck right the fuck now. Like, we got to go weigh in. We get to the truck and I'm like, I'm driving. He gets in the passenger side. By the time I turned the truck on, adjusted my mirrors, I look over at him and he's just fucking passed out.
Slump.
I'm like, God damn, I feel bad for this man. So we make weight. After we make weight, this is how crazy his body is for a peak week. Okay. This doesn't even make sense to me, dude. And it doesn't make sense. We make weight. I give him 30 ounces of water with electrolytes. Okay. About 25, 30 minutes later, we get to the Airbnb. All right. He was 4 pounds heavier from 30 ounces of water and electrolytes. How does that make any physical sense?
What is 30 ounces of water? Well, I guess it would be
It was
Maybe 2 pounds. Maybe.
Yeah, 2 pounds. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Bro, like, I'm like, how does this happen? He weighed in at 186 for weigh-ins, and then he was 190 flat on the dot when we got back to the B&B. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, there was that. We spent the night there. We wake up the next day to go to the gym. His truck is towed because nobody, whatever laws out there with street parking is retarded. But he's a Marine combat vet, so he's like used to stress, and he's also in private security for his job. So literally we found out that his truck was towed, and then he looks at me. He's like, "Well, let's go back to the B&B and get an Uber." And I'm like, "Attaboy, that's the fucking spirit." Like, I love the attitude. there's that. And then we come back after that workout, no power. We get back to the Airbnb. It's like 80 degrees inside the Airbnb because there's no power. I had to get a host hotel that night, but thank God Men's Physique went the day prior. So people had like checked out. That was the only reason we could have gotten a room at the host hotel. But then everything was smooth, dude. It was phenomenal.
I was 5 minutes down or 10 minutes down the road when I went to book the host hotel because I'm only booking like a week out, right? Speaking of which, I don't even think I booked my Chicago room yet. But they were like, all we got is the like king executive suite, and it was like 1,100 a night, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I'll just go down the street. I'm like, it's like I'm by myself. I'm not even gonna be in the room. I'm like, stupid.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, that was a good ass time. Yeah, 2 pro cards, the overall, and then the overall for men's or masters 35 plus for classic, which was sick.
Isn't it
But yeah,
wild the
man.
peak weeks that are always the crazy? Nick, I don't know if it's like this for you, but the peak weeks where all of that shit usually happens, it usually ends in the best result.
Dude, I've noticed that. I mean, I've had what?
Just a little
Always
chaos.
something wild happens, and then you get a winner.
Yeah. Bro, yeah. I mean, it's like I've had 4 pro cards this year. And his were 2, but it's like looking back at it, each of them, there was like an event that happened. Like there was some stress or some life stress on the athlete's end affected them when we had to have a certain talk, and just like, hey, this is how we got to deal with it. This is the lens and the perspective we got to look at it through. We can't control it right now, and they go from a super high stress state where their body's starting to get affected to relaxed, and then things start to click a little bit more. Yeah, you're so right, bro. You're so right. But yeah, man, it's been busy. I'm really happy with it though. Business has been great. I've been getting some really good signups lately. Really pleased with it. I got this. I'm sitting watching the fights the other night, and I get this coaching application come through, and I'm like, usually at that late, I'm not gonna look at it, and I look at it, and this guy's submitting his photos on his application with a stage tan on, and I'm like, what? And he competed that day.
Oh,
So I texted him, and I'm like, yo, like, did you compete today? He's like, yeah. And he gave me an entire rundown. His coach ghosted him and, made up some.
always happens. Every time, bro. Every single time I've had someone win or do well at a show, someone from that show will apply usually the Monday after and tell me how their coach ghosted them and they didn't hear from them all peak week. And I'm like, bro, how do you consciously do that as a coach? Like, I've never in my life had someone competing and like just completely didn't answer them.
I know. And also, too, dude, I've heard a story of he's an Olympian. He's a well-known coach, I guess you could say, in the men's physique division. Not a great coach, in my opinion. Where I saw the message. Like, he completely lied to one of his athletes. The athlete's not signed up with me, signed up with one of my other clients, where he said he was out of country. He woke up in the hospital. He was beat the fuck up. He had no wallet, no money, and I'm like, and then the next day he's in the States. And I'm like, dude, you're openly lying to your athletes. Like, are you serious? And
Bro,
just making up these stories. And then I overhear him telling people this story at junior nationals. Okay. And I'm sitting there because I don't fuck with the guy. And he probably doesn't fuck with me, to be honest, because he knows I'll call his ass out on shit. And I'm listening to him tell this story, and he's just like adding on top of it. And I'm like, you're just trying to get everybody on your side because you fucked up, And I'm like,
Yeah.
the scumbags in this game really piss me off.
I just think there's no excuse whatsoever for like completely ghosting someone. Like, bro, I had 2 people compete 12 hours after my son was born. Like, he was born at 8:30 on a Friday night. I had 2 people competing that Saturday, the next day. Now, granted, I have incredibly good friends in this industry, and Mike Nassif, I just basically had told him ahead of time, like a week ahead of time, hey, there's a good chance that the baby might be born in the next week. I have 2 people competing. Can I just make a group chat with you guys in WhatsApp? You can follow along for the peak and then just take over because our coaching styles are very, very, very similar. So he took over, the the day that that we were in labor, and then the morning of prejudging for them, and then I was able to help with the finals. But I still planned ahead, right? Like I still had that laid out and
Sure.
knew that if this does happen, then this is what the plan is going to be, and let my athletes know about that and everything. And like they both won their class, so it's like I don't know. It befuzzles me. I can't wrap my head around how you can just completely ghost an athlete during prep or during
One
peak.
another thing I can't wrap my head around, dude, is when you're a coach and you're openly, publicly, not subtle, cursing out your clients the day of the show. Like, bro, I see this shit happen. It's this, guess what? It's the same person that I just talked about for making up that bullshit story at Universe, bro. Okay. I wasn't there, but I heard about it from one of my other athletes because he had a men's physique guy competing that day. And he's like, yeah, dude, so and so's client was actually doing pretty good on stage, but his coach was right behind the judges, literally calling him a stupid motherfucker. Like, you stupid motherfucker, turn this, like screaming it at his athlete. And then backstage, bitching at his athletes in front of clients, in front of their wives, in front of family. And I'm like, do people not like, if I'm a teammate and I see our coach treating another teammate that way, the only reason, like, let's be honest, the only reason that coach is getting away with that shit is because nobody says anything. You know what I'm saying? Nobody says anything. Teammates don't say anything. Athletes don't say anything. Spouses don't. Bystanders don't, that are just audience members. Other coaches don't say anything. And I'm like, that's the only reason that these coaches can act like that is in public. And I'm like, if I was a teammate and I saw that shit, one, how could I not say something to my coach? Okay.
Right.
Even if if I get dropped for it. But two, why the hell would I want that person to lead me?
Right.
You know? And I'm like, how can I let that slide? And it's happened at multiple shows I've been at. It's happened at junior nationals. It happened at junior nationals last year with this coach. And I'm like, dude, you're an Olympian too, bro. You're a fucking Olympian, and you make yourself look bad. You make your athletes look bad. And no wonder, like, I'm not saying there's politics involved, but like, no wonder the judges don't fucking like you because you're a shit person. Like, let's be real. And like, that's just me, bro. And I've got other reasons for saying that, but I
I think
probably should put those,
I think
you
so
know.
many coaches, especially in the bodybuilding realm, don't see coaching as a business. So they feel as if they can just does that make sense? Like they can just talk, like, let's be honest, if you have any business sense whatsoever, you view that as your income, your reputation, all of that matters. But when
Yeah.
you don't view it as that, then it's like, oh well,
Hey, can we also remember that like this is just a hobby?
yeah, it's just bodybuilding. Like
Like
it's
this
just
isn't life or death.
mhm.
And like you're there for the client, you're not there for yourself because it sounds very, I mean, it's very clear you're making it about you, not about them.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
So,
And
And
like
and
I'm
multiple
all for the reputation of winning, right? Like all of us want to win. We all want to be known for winning. Cool. But like if that's not the
yeah, but
case,
like if you
then we
coach
know you did
better, you
everything.
wouldn't have to yell at them because they
Yeah.
would know, you
Yeah.
know?
yeah,
They would yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I had was it the week before Universe, I had somebody competing at a show here in Milwaukee. Okay. And he was doing bodybuilding. And it was his first show ever. And he smoked light heavies. Like, he looked freaking awesome for light heavies. He won light heavies, and he's going up against the overall. And there's this guy that was in supers, and he was at least 65, 70 pounds heavier than him. Okay. If I showed you guys the overall posing, you would have been like, yeah, your guy should have won. Okay. The guy that won the super heavy was just a big ball of muscle, no posing endurance, terrible posing, just no lines in the lower body. But being a regional show, in Milwaukee, I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm setting myself up for it. They're probably going to give it to the super heavyweight from just a pure
Yeah.
size standpoint, even though he's going to be, third call outs at NPC Nationals in December. Okay. I'm sitting there for the overall, and I'm just kneeling down, head down. Okay, come on, it could happen. Like, it could happen. They call the super heavyweight that he won the overall, and I hear people around me, other coaches, other athletes being like, oh, no way. Like, that's like, and I'm the one person that's not complaining publicly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just
Sure.
sitting there, just like nodding my head, and I start clapping for the overall winner because it's not that big of a deal. Why am I going to make my athlete look bad because I disagree with the placing? Like, dude,
Yeah.
I know that he was a more complete bodybuilder, but why am I going to make myself look bad, my athlete look bad, my team, my other athletes that were there watching and supporting him?
Right. Right.
Or am I going to make them look bad? And they're now going to see their coach, losing his shit or just acting out of character. Like, I truly don't think people see. I don't think they have the ability to put themselves, to view themselves through some other people's lens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Perspective. That's the word I want to work.
Yeah. I mean, I think it should be a party afterwards, regardless. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I don't win, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
My wife's already like, well, let's go ahead and get that in line because you still have to show up for everybody. You still have to be the tip of the spear. You don't get to show emotion on that level. You don't let this make you upset or angry or whatever. She's like, so mentally start preparing because this is like, I plan on throwing like a giant party while we're
Yeah.
there as well. Cause I have so many people coming out from that are clients, coaches, support. I mean, people asked me 3 months ago, like, hey, you're doing North Americans, right? And I was like, yeah. They're like, all right, book in my hotel. I'm like, what? Like, so
That's
it's really
cool.
cool. But at the same time, like, yeah, like, dude, I really want to win. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I've put a lot into this. And it still has a lot to go. And I put a lot in a lot of areas of my life, but I mean, for the last year, I mean, I haven't missed a meal, and yes, have people doing this for 5, 6, 7 years? Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, I didn't stop doing other things. It's like I just added this on. So it's like has been a lot.
Yeah.
And Taylor's like noticed and watched throughout all of it. But I'm like just sacrificing a lot to make this happen. So like, yeah, I want to win, but at the same time, like it is just a hobby. I could also like play golf and play a golf tournament and have this same type of attitude towards that too, right? It is
Right.
just a hobby.
Right.
Also,
One
I
sec.
think
I can get the bathroom real quick.
one thing I want to touch on there, Mike, is like, yeah, people have been doing this for 5, 6 years. A lot of people have been doing this for 5, 6 years, though, are only like most people that have been as locked in as you are only doing this, and they're not sacrificing the time that, like, let's be honest, the time you've put into bodybuilding over the last year, you could have done like you could have done anything. Not saying that you took away time from business or anything like that, but like if you took that time and just multiplied it by, so like most people don't have that either. So I feel like that's definitely something on your end that's like different than the people who just devote their entire lives to bodybuilding.
True. I
And
used
you
to be that person.
and that's what, like, the pressure of, like, I feel like maybe subconsciously for you, you feel that pressure of winning just because it's like you have put so much time and effort into it when you didn't have to, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I have felt like last prep, I didn't have much pressure.
Because it
Now I
was
feel
just,
like there's a lot of pressure,
yeah. Yeah.
because
I
last
mean,
time it was like, well, we're just going to do it.
mhm,
And now it's like all or nothing.
yeah, yeah,
So it's like either we win or we lose. There is no, I participated this go around. You know what I
mhm,
mean?
yeah,
Nationals last year was participation,
mhm.
you know? Um,
'Cause we were already there type of thing.
yeah. So now there's just a little, like, there's more stakes on the line,
Mhm,
you know? Because there's ultimately a decision that has to be made as well.
mhm.
Is that it?
Yep,
Was that the one shot?
yeah,
'Cause right now, that's gonna be the last show I ever do. But, like, is it gonna be the last show I ever do if I don't win? If I lose because I come in second place?
yeah,
It's like, that, you
yeah,
know what? I dread that more than anything.
mhm.
I'd rather get 5th than 2nd. 5th, I could just hang it up. 2nd, I'm
Yep.
like, "Shit, I gotta do this again."
Almost there. Yeah,
I already told a bunch of people if If I don't win, I'm just trying to do summer shredding the next 2 weeks later.
Bro, you could.
How about that?
You literally could.
Oh.
My client literally that didn't turn pro at or one of my guys that didn't turn pro at Nash Junior Nat wanted to do summer shredding. And but it's like I said no, because could he's done summer shredding twice and he almost won it in 2023. But I'm like, bro, there's bigger fish to fry, man. Like we could do it. There's some big prize money on the line for sure.
Right.
You know, like that's really tempting. But I told him, like, dude, I'm not going to be able to be there. You know, like October's crazy busy for me. I
Yeah.
won't be able to be there. Could I do it virtually? Yes. But like, I'd want to be there to give
Yeah.
you, you know, I want to, I know that it would be better if I was there in person. But
Yep.
summer training is a show, man. You know, you said Dan's going out to it, right?
Is Dan going? Yeah, because I'll be at USA's.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be
And Baker's supposed to have his baby like any
now.
day.
He texted me yesterday.
Yeah, like any day. So Felicity's out of the country in Costa Rica. So like we're limited on staff. Well, speaking of which, hiring 3 people. Preferably all in Dallas. I need an account manager, someone that can set up GHL and help onboard coaches. I need an event coordinator, somebody that can help run and host our workshops, get everything prior coming up to the workshops. I mean, all the way down to what's this person's favorite energy drink, get it ordered, have it in the fridge for them when they get here. Food preferences, like all the things, right? Prepping everything for them to come. And then I need a high-level educator, somebody that can do what I do or my team does at workshops and actually teach coaches, or at least present a relayed message that I built for them to then do and implement. So somebody's got just more experience in that side of things. But those are like three pretty important positions.
Yeah. And like, those are things you have to be selective for when you when you hire and you delegate. Those aren't just 3 people you could just bring
You
out.
either have to be great at software or have an understanding. I'm past the point of teaching basics there. Then I need somebody that can do event coordinating, basically great relationships, can work some AI when we show you how to use it, and then also just great organization. And then the educator person has to have experience, has built a big business before, or is really good at a certain skill set that they can teach others. Because when we have those, like Baker focuses on operations, I focus on messaging and marketing, ICA, Felicity focuses on funnels and tracking, Dan focuses on sales and all things related there. So it's got to be somebody that can basically add to that and teach something or be able to deliver message with a high confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
Hard to teach another coach doing $100,000 how to improve.
Yeah.
Gotta be a pretty decent person.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to trust them.
Not that everybody comes in does $100,000, right? Most people are doing less than 15. I'd say 50%. Their goal is to get to either 25 or 50. Okay.
Yeah.
But we got some people coming in next month that are doing pretty decent.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we're actually sold out 2 in August, sold out in September, and then we're doing 3 workshops in October.
Wow. That's
So
amazing.
back to back to back. We have lead summit actually first week, and then workshop. So we're doing 4 events back to back to back.
I think something I forgot what it was. Because I mean, Mike, you know this. I don't know, Taylor, if you have, but me and Cam haven't made anything official about it, so I'm not going to make an announcement right now. But like, we're doing some cool business stuff together. But I think once I'm fully on board, I think something in the offer is I'm coming out there for a workshop or something.
He mentioned that Kevin, you guys come out and doing another day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you guys would be in person.
Yep. Yep. That's what I thought.
And
So
we're gonna pull back the curtain on everything, like focus, job responsibilities, roles. I'm assuming. Haven't talked about it, but it's like how do we fit the puzzle pieces together to maximize potential and revenue?
Yep. especially too because it's something different. Like it's him taking a different, not a different role, but him taking
Right. It's just slightly changing.
steps back. But yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Anyway, gentlemen, I'd say we get into some listeners' questions. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Guys, everybody listening, we've always put things up on our story. Sometimes we cover questions, sometimes we don't because we just forget and we go on topics like we did today. So these are just some questions that we've had from you guys over the months. First one, let's do something fun. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, this one, Taylor. I bet you're gonna have something funny. Most unhinged thing a client has ever confessed to you mid prep or after prep?
In prep or after prep? Man, I'll have to think on that.
I've got one off the top of my mind.
Go ahead, say it. I'll think.
In peak week in 2022, I was at a B3B with my athlete and he was like 3 days out and I told him what to eat. After looking at him, he makes his meal, makes some coffee, and I'm looking from afar and he's adding spoonfuls of monk fruit sweetener to his coffee. Okay. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, dude, this is the only way I'm able to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, how long has this been going on? He's like, since the beginning of prep. He's been doing that. That was his like a laxative for him. It was monk fruit sweetener would screw up his gut so much that it was the only way he could go to the bathroom, like consistently, but never mentioned it to me because that was his baseline consistency of going to the bathroom. So I had like, even though his fiber was in a good spot, like he literally was like, my gut's so messed up. I'm eating everything on plan, but it was rough, dude. So I literally told him, like, all right, you're doing that until the day of the show. Like this entire week, like we can't pull him out now. Like that's your baseline. We have to fix this after prep.
Yeah. So you're using the monk fruit? Is it the monk fruit as the as the laxative there or the coffee?
Yeah, it was that. And it was like he was using spoonfuls of it, dude. Like he added 3 large spoonfuls to it.
God,
And
that's so gross.
I
It had to
know.
be so bad.
Can I
know,
tell on
dude.
myself? And I don't recommend anyone to ever, ever, ever do this. But when I was in prep, and this isn't the most unhinged thing. I have something else. But when I was in prep personally, my gut was so fucked up. I did either a suppository or a saline enema every day for 12 days in a row.
Dude.
Yeah, it was bad.
Dog, it's normal.
I had it to where when I was like really hard, well, quick background. So when I was 22, I did men's physique the first year it came out. And I'd been competing in bodybuilding and then went down for this. Well, I say I went down. I stepped on stage at 215. Way too big in 2011 for or 2012 for men's physique. They placed me like 5th. And I was the leanest, best round physique. Now I'm too small, then too big. So I got a 5th, and they're like, you got to drop weight. So I did another show in 4 weeks. I ate 2 ounces of meat 8 times a day with like 2 pieces of broccoli. And I would do that 6 days a week with 1,000 calories worth of cardio burned, no working out.
Ow.
I dropped 15 pounds of stage weight in 4 weeks, along with my hair and everything else. And I would do a cheat meal, or it actually turned into a day by the time I got over it on Sundays. I've never had uncontrollable food craving or like I would start eating and just literally like
Couldn't stop.
ravenous, just could not stop.
Mhm.
Like really an uncontrollable, unhealthy, like super binge where I would just like black out and all of a sudden I'm like 7 granola bars deep.
Oh, you
Right.
were like gluttonous as fuck.
Yeah, like, but the point of like self pain of like eating so much because I'm I'm starved. I was eating 400 calories a day. Right. And
Bro, that's
so I would then my stomach is just crazy bloated. Right. And so I would drink castor oil
oh,
to just help things just run through,
Oh yeah, I bet it ran
which is
through.
here I am just creating this giant, binge eating castor oil. I mean, I might as well have been bulimic.
bro, you literally with that castor oil, you made a fucking slip and slide out of your large and small intestine. You literally didn't think about that. It just coated
Yeah.
the lining, and it went.
The other time though, at the same time though, so depleted that I would still basically absorb all the food. Like it wouldn't be anything crazy. It was just hey, it would just keep things moving because for 6 days I'm not using the bathroom at all.
Yeah,
Because you're eating
that
400 calories a day.
bro, it's so bad.
Terrible. So
I mean,
when I
How'd you
tell
look on
people
stage?
hey man, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do something. And you tell me how you're doing something hard, I'm like, I don't want to freaking hear it.
How'd you look on stage?
Now I'm eating 3,400 calories.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I'm like, let's bump it down. I can
how,
go low. I've been there before.
how
I can
dude,
go
look,
low.
I'm surprised you lost not more than 15 pounds, dude. Like, holy cow, how'd you look?
I just looked like a string bean.
So
And
you
then I
did.
went and did a bunch of shows. Actually, funny enough, I did junior nationals that year. And that's the show that I'm backstage talking to this guy named Jeremy. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm looking to do this muscle motives coaching thing. I'm looking for a guy and 2 girls to work with me. I've already got 1 girl on board. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, sounds good. Like this. That'd be awesome. He ends up winning the show. And then that was Jeremy Buendia.
Awesome.
And then from there, obviously, when he turned pro, he just exploded. And I'm like, I'm out of the picture.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so I have 2 things. One, my client never told me this. Grayson did. So she was with me at a show, and I'm not gonna say he or she or who it was, but this individual won 2 pro cards and an overall at a show. So Grayson told me after. She said she didn't want to tell me before because it would have stressed me out, but after, when we were on the way home, this person rode with Grayson to get food, and because Grayson was going to get Chick-fil-A, if you don't know my fiance, she drinks Dr. Pepper like it's going out of style. Like that is her water, is full sugar
soda or diet?
Yes. No, full sugar. So she got Chick-fil-A and got a large Dr. Pepper. She said they were driving and she was they were looking at the mountains or something. And she turned back around and all but 2 sips of her Dr. Pepper out of her large Dr. Pepper were gone one day out from a national show. And she didn't say anything, but basically this person drank her entire large Dr. Pepper one day out, which is pretty wild. I mean, we still won 2 pro cards, but
What year was this?
24, year before last.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
I know who it is.
And then the other one, I found out after prep that this was my first ever pro card. Me and Cam kind of co-coached this person. I took over 5 weeks out. Cam stopped coaching 7 weeks out, so there was a 2-week hiatus of where she was working with someone else that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But basically, she was in that 2-week span when she was with that other person, getting recommendations from that other person. She was taking 140 mics of Clin a day.
Oh,
Super Shredder from Amino Asylum. She was probably having 3 to 4 energy drinks a day, and she was taking a Vyvanse in the morning, instant Adderall at lunch, and then another instant Adderall in the afternoon before her workout.
dog, her adrenals were just trash.
Bro, I don't know how she didn't have a heart attack.
That's so bad.
Yeah. So
Bro,
I found out after prep how much, which obviously I pulled her off all of the Clin. So she was also eating 0 carbs whatsoever, not even fruits and veggies. It was like a protein shake meal 1, tilapia meal 2, chicken meal 3, like just ridiculous. What's his name? Uh, who's the dude that coaches Stu?
Oh, Blue Taylor.
Yeah, like that style of diet. It wasn't him, but like that style of diet. And so obviously I pulled her off of everything. She continued to take the Adderall and shit that I didn't know about, but I pulled her off everything. She just like dropped like 5 pounds in a day or something like that. And so yeah, but I found that out after prep. That was pretty unhinged.
That's definitely unhinged, dude. Holy cow.
That's nuts. What else you
What?
got? I've never done anything unhinged inside of diet that I wasn't instructed to do. I remember my uncle, man, when he got me into bodybuilding, I did my prep and he was like, "You look great." He's like, "Did you cheat?" And I go, "Did I what?" He's like, "Cheat the diet." I go, "No." And he was like, "Man," he was like, "I did." I was like, "What did you eat?" And he goes, "When I'd get really hungry at night, I would just get like a big, giant scoop of peanut butter." And I'm like,
Oh, Cam Cam had a client that won a pro card at nationals, like his first or second year coaching, that this person got up in the middle of the night one day out, like so the night before the show, and ate an entire jar of peanut butter and a full sleeve of rice cakes, and
Yep, I
said
remember.
like apparently didn't know. Like he didn't know he did it. He did it in his sleep apparently. And then he still won a pro card, but like an entire jar of peanut butter, bro, how many calories is that?
Bro, I know who it is. I remember what he looked like.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell he won a pro card. But yeah, I remember Cam telling me that like the day he found out about it. And Cam's like, "Bro, you gotta call me." And I'm like, "What?" And this is kind of like before me and Cam were real tight. And he just needed to like vent to somebody. Okay. And I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Dude, I just got to get this off my chest. This is what just happened. This is what my client said." And I'm like, uh, what do you got? What are you gonna do? You can't do anything. And he's like, "I know. I just told him to get on stage." And I'm like, "Dude, that is rough,
There's almost 3,000 calories in a jar of peanut butter.
bro. You can't do anything. You can't. If that happens, you literally have to just make sure that they have fluid to pass it. That's it. You know, like you can't give them carbs. You can't have them throw all that up. You can't like out diuretic that obviously, but some people try that. You know. But all right, we got another one. Okay, so like what's this one? It kind of is worded weird, so I think they asked it in 2 parts. Like what's a principle you believe is true, but you can't fully prove? So like how I take this as like what's something like bro science that you know works, but you can't prove it with anything but anecdotal evidence. I'll start. Like using insulin needles to pin your arms definitely helps your arms grow.
Yes, that's a very good one.
Dude, I
Or
just say
like spot injecting anything for sure helps.
for sure.
Mine's probably more PED related. This is going to be debatable. I 1000% that to an extent, there's a caveat of like if you train like a pussy, blah blah blah. But AIs for sure make you harder and drier than any other thing you can do. And
Yep.
I know
More,
of like, oh well, if you crush estrogen, then you're not going to lose fat and blah blah blah. I don't give a shit. I've seen people on very high AIs get very hard and dry and grainy, and I can see it every time I implement them in with someone. Their look just changes. It is what it is. I don't care what nobody says. That and Winstraw.
100%,
I don't know.
100%, dude. Like,
I don't know if that can be proven or not. Maybe that's a bad one, but
I mean, I agree with that for sure, dude. It's like I'm never gonna crush somebody's estrogen if I don't already see them at that like that paper getting close to that paper
sure.
thin.
Yeah.
You know, obviously
You
know
can't
that.
you can't obviously if you can't lose fat,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
as we talked about, but it's like the moment which you're crushing it, you shouldn't have any fat to lose.
Yeah, yeah. So like I'm
You should have
like
got ready.
I'm speaking like 4 to 6 weeks out mark. You put it like you should see some very big visual changes. I always do by adding or bumping in AI.
Building off of that, dude. I will say that I have no evidence besides firsthand evidence with this, but black dudes respond to electro better than white dudes.
Yes. Black
Like,
dudes respond to, I think black dudes respond to AIs in general better than white dudes do.
and I'll take it a step further. If I've got to like deplete somebody to make a weight cap, and I know that their body is like they're already at low calories, they've had many days in a row with like no carb, and they're not losing tissue. It's a lot easier for me to increase their T3, knowing that they're not going to lose tissue.
Mhm.
Like I'll bring T3 up a little bit higher in a peak week. Like, I mean, dude, I'm talking 50 micrograms a day. And that's like, I'm talking case dependent in a peak week. I need to get them depleted to get them near their weight cap. And on top of that, I don't want to like sauna them out every day. And then they have rebound water retention from aldosterone, rebounding, etc. But, a lot of black dudes that are naturally very bubbly, that I've crushed their estrogen already, maybe I'm using some letrozole, I'll bring their T3 up a little bit higher, and it'll do some real good fucking shit, dude. It's wild.
Mhm.
But again, I've seen T3 tear through some tissue on white dudes pretty quickly.
Yep. I agree. I think that another thing, and I think that this isn't by any means meant to be taken like in a bad way. I don't think anyone would take it that way, but like black guys, because of their genetics,
Yep.
like are meant to, like, their body just holds more water, and that's what creates that like thicker skin look. So when you use stronger AIs, harder AIs, obviously lower estrogen, lower water, less water retention. I think that that's why it helps so much.
And they're like, look back at their blood work too, dude.
Mhm.
A lot of darker skin guys, a lot of
Estrogen.
times it's a trend where they naturally ride high with their HSCRP,
Mhm.
and their cortisol rise a little bit higher as well.
Mhm.
And that's just genetics. That's just ethnicity, coming from, you know, high stress environments, coming from, if somebody like it literally grew up in Africa and it's crazy hot, crazy humid,
Yep.
you know, it's going to affect their look, and even if they've been living in the States for years, like that's just genetic. You can't change that, you know?
Mhm.
So 100%, dude. I can't prove any of that, but hey,
Here's a
um,
random one would be like that. I think natural guys can get leaner than guys on gear.
oh, I can
Oh,
attest.
100%. I agree with that too. I agree with that.
It was
I
so
think
funny,
it's
dude.
because the difference between, well, two things from a striation standpoint, always crazier. I think a few of it, I think I don't know, nor do I think necessarily can be proved, but like just from a water perspective and also um, thinness of skin.
Yep.
And then as you grow, I think it closes a lot of those
Mhm.
with just muscle being bound versus natural muscle. It just has deeper crevices because you haven't squeezed that muscle together with growth.
I also think
You ever
that
seen somebody's lines close up the bigger they get?
100%, yes. I also think PEDs just cause it inflammation regardless. Like, in general, I think there is just some type of inflammation that from, super physiological levels of anything, and that I think the biggest thing to this though is enhanced guys care too much about being full. Therefore, they never get flat enough to, because like you're going into an enhanced show, right? Like your goal is to be, yes, I want to be peeled, but I also want to be full. A natural guy goes into a show, I want to be as fucking peeled as I possibly can get, and I
Yeah.
don't care about
It's so
fullness.
funny because that's my mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
People are like, oh no, let's not get lean too fast. I'm like, let's get inside out.
yeah.
Yep.
And I think that,
But at the same time, like Tyler's, they're like, well, he doesn't like that as much. And I'd rather come in personally, I'd rather come in a tad leaner than a
Mhm.
tad full. But
Yep.
that's not what they're wanting or looking for.
Right. And also, you gotta
So
think, I think it too, sometimes, you gotta think about it from enhanced guys, even if you're on growth hormone or not. Like, if let's say you're on growth hormone, like, bro, one of the main key benefits of growth hormone is going to be just like regeneration speed. Okay. Um, just connective tissue healing, connective tissue, how good they feel on growth hormone. And that's because of collagen synthesis has been ramped up. All right. There is going to be ramped up collagen synthesis even if you're not on growth hormone, but you're on PEDs. So if you're natural, but also that can affect collagen of your skin. Okay. And so that will, even if that's increased over time to a degree, that can show potentially less detail in somebody's body over time. Not saying the first 2-3 years plus whatever, taking growth hormone, it's going to happen, but over time it can happen. Dude, if you're natural, you have none of that going on. Like your collagen synthesis is literally down, like worse when you're natural and you're prepping for a show and you're getting fucking peeled. So it's like that is more so of the sciencey side of it. But
Here's another. Wait, before we move on, I have one principle
Yeah.
that I stand by. Maybe you can prove this. I don't know. I don't care. Natural prep, bodybuilding specifically, is more unhealthy than prepping with HRT.
Totally.
I 100% agree.
Glass and PEDs, but I'm saying at least TRT and thyroid T3 replacement dose
Yeah.
of both is far healthier than prepping naturally.
Totally.
I think natural organizations that allow HRT are comparing apples to oranges. Because the guy that's natural that's not on HRT, by the time he steps on stage, his level is going to be 300. Versus the other guy is going to be repping 1,000. Like 3 times higher. And then the post show, it's not even close.
I got my testosterone levels checked after my first show and I was natural. Actually I got a full panel, but my testosterone was 163.
Yeah.
And my free T3 was a 2.1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So like, yeah. I mean,
yeah, bro. It's funny too. I mean, I got my first show was natural. Got absolutely inside out peeled, hard. It was fantastic. What was it? I got my blood work done 3 months after my show. Food's already coming up, and I was still really lean. Like I'm still like, I was more like influencer Nick at the time. Okay, so like I was staying lean purposely, but following the plan, and telling him like, hey, I don't want to get too fat too quick. And he's like, dude, like I know, whatever. General practitioner, blood work came back, free testosterone was total testosterone was in the 200s, free testosterone was like a 7 or some shit like that. She's like, yeah, you got the bottom of the reference range, we're okay. And I'm like, well, but the thing was, dude, I felt actually pretty good. But it was just like because I was doing it for so long, my mind, I tricked my body into like thinking I was still healthy. I felt fine. But also, I also had an eating disorder, a year prior to that I dealt with, and I had crashed testosterone levels, and I convinced myself that I was healthy, walking around with shredded glutes for 10 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, your mind does crazy things on you. Okay, what's the weirdest like request a client has ever made of us? So like, Mike, this can kind of go to you as well, obviously.
Sure.
Like, you get weird requests for business. What would you want?
I would say the strangest request I've gotten on my end is special treatment because you have a bigger follower account.
Oh my God. Okay, special treatment as in like a discount, or what do you mean?
As in like I should get priority support.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, I refunded their money a week later, and
yeah,
as you should. 100%. Dude, that's funny. Oh my God, I just had that happen with a kid the other day. Well, maybe like a month ago. Paid for 6 months up front, wanting to get into bodybuilding, and I could tell that he was just going to be a little bit more work. Okay. So I'm like, hey man, I'm not accepting anything but 6 months up front. Like we need to get you, his mind, we need to develop his mental, we need to get holistically develop you into a competitor, and he's already been enhanced prior to coming to me, like 2-3 months in. He's like, dude, you coach all these guys, all these pros, all these guys that are going to be pro, et cetera. And they're at different levels than me. And I want more of a mentorship from you. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, the reason you don't feel like you're going anywhere is because what I tell you, you don't implement mentally, and just like behaviorally and like thinking like a bodybuilder, 24/7, 365, you're not implementing it. So you're not reaping the benefits. Then you think I need to pour more into you because you're a younger guy and you haven't had the experience as all the other pros on the team yet. And I'm like, I had to bring that up to him. We talked through it. He's like, all right, no worries. I'm not gonna, you know, request that of you again. A couple weeks later, request it again. I said, all right, you're gone. Like, dude, I'm not here to hold your hand, mentor you because you're a first time competitor. You know, that's not what I do. Anyway,
I
sorry, Kill.
I had someone I had someone ask me if I could build them their entire meal plan, training plan, basically their whole plan, and send it to them before they pay me so that they could look at it and see if we would be a good fit.
No, no, no. I've had that.
The occasional, like, hey, I don't want to pay monthly, but I'll do a percentage split with you.
Yeah.
You know, that's just them like just being burned or not trusting the process. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, you're asking, like, you won't trust me, but you're asking me to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't come to you asking for your business. You came to me. Yeah.
Trying to
But-
think if one recent or not.
Also had someone ask me if they could eat their cream of rice dry instead of cooked. Don't know.
Oof.
Interesting.
That sounds bad.
Yeah. I have no
That's like
idea.
eating sand.
And then I asked why he hadn't asked me that, and why he, like, at this point, he was like a month into the plan and had cream of rice, and I was like, "Wait, have you not been cooking it?" And he was like, "Oh no, I just eat it dry." What are we in?
I think one time
we're
I
in
had
college again?
a client when I think it was a while ago, but I think if we're remembering back to the context of what they're asking was they traveled to like Milwaukee a lot for work, and because I was their coach when they traveled to Milwaukee for work, if they could stay at my house because I was their coach instead of staying at their business paying for their stay. And I'm like, hell no. Like, I'm not having that happen, bro. Let's go another one here.
I got time for like one more, and then I'm gonna dip.
Yep,
Yeah,
same.
I'm trying to find a good one. Same here. Oh, this is a good one. I think we all can answer this one. What's one belief about pricing that coaches need to unlearn to actually build something sustainable in the long term?
Oh, Mike's gonna love this.
Yeah.
All right. The first one I would say, if I'm going to speak to personal trainers, is that your value is not based on where your feet are at. It's based on the results which you get for a client. So just because I'm in person doesn't mean that it should necessarily cost more, because the result is really what they're paying for.
Mm.
For an online coach, in the beginning, you sell nothing but value. So all you have is time. As you get bigger and you grow and grow and grow, what you don't have anymore is time. So what you start to sell is time. And so the price has to be driven off of supply and demand. Okay. Supply and demand is what an economy is built on. You're not a commodity, meaning that everybody should be able to afford you. If I have 5 hours left per week, those are going to be my most expensive hours because that's all I have left. And if you don't think that that's necessary, I want you to ask yourself, are you going to continue to take on somebody? And then for every hour that you take away from your kid, ask yourself, how much is that time worth to you? And how much you're willing to sell your kid's hour of time for, because that's what you're doing. So if it doesn't significantly increase your income, just remember you're selling your kid's time for $100. All you have is value to give at that point. No longer do you have time to give.
Yep.
So just perspective there. When it comes to assistant coaching, this is the third piece of it. This is the next layer. If you're bringing on an assistant coach, I think the foundation for that person is that they should make, you as the business owner, you should make $300 off of the assistant coach training that client, or you shouldn't have an assistant coach.
Interesting. Break that down.
Because if it's not going to grow your business, just charge more money and have less clients. Otherwise, you're managing a bunch of work and a bunch of sales call, a bunch of acquisition. Everything becomes more expensive and the business doesn't get to eat. And when the business doesn't eat, then everybody makes the same money, assistant coach and the head coach, because they have all the expenses to pay. And so if it doesn't significantly increase your income, don't manage other people. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just raise your prices.
You're basically
So,
saying, so if you have an assistant coach, if you're not making at least
for
$300,
example, $500,
Yep.
$200 to assistant, $300 a person,
perfect.
$300 to
Yep.
business, $200 to the assistant coach on a $500 ticket.
Yep.
That way the
Oh.
business can eat, because if you're charging $500, you've built a pretty good reputation. At that point, what softwares do you have? What events are you hosting? What photographers are you hiring? What ads are you running? What assistants have you hired? Like, all those things have to accumulate, because they're going to be working on other things that have to do with the business, not necessarily the head coach, because the head coach has been sufficient for a long time. But we have to do all these other things to help manage someone else. And if you're not making enough money for it to actually genuinely help you, and it's just a side thing, it's like side things are distractions. So either you turn it into a business or just charge a lot of money yourself.
That makes a lot of sense for sure. I think people too, also, I mean, young guys, like, they got to get to a point where they're gonna, I think it's usually between 15 to 30 clients where they charge the same amount. They charge 200 a month. And it's really hard from when they go from 30 to 40 to increase those prices, because they think that
Yeah.
they can handle 10 more clients at 200 a month. And then they go from 40 to 50, still at 200 a month, another 10 clients. And then they realize, like, wait, I should have increased my prices a long time ago, because this is not sustainable. Dude, it's like, I coach a lot of coaches. I coach athletes that are also coaches. You know,
Yeah.
Taylor, you do as well. Like, obviously, Mike, you do, but in a different lens or context. Dude, just a common denominator is like burnout. And they're like, dude, I can't get clients. Or if I get more clients, they fall off. And it's like, well, they may be falling off because your service is less, because you're not not giving, you're not charging enough, and you're too spread thin. You know, like, dude, I charge $500 a month now, you know, and not gonna lie, I've been charging $500 a month for a while, and people it's easier for them to pay it than even when it was 2 years ago at like $325 a month, you know. And I'm also attracting different people, but I'm also in a position where I'm not at 80 clients anymore, because I don't want to get 80 to 100 clients and
Supply
spread
and demand.
100%.
And
100%.
next year it'll be 600.
Yep.
Yep.
That's just the way it goes. Like, I started off, it was like, yeah, for $1,000 a month, you could talk to me twice. Now it's like 5,000, you can talk to me twice.
Exactly.
I don't have the time. So you're going to pay for it if you want it. Is it still valuable? 100%. Not to somebody who makes $5,000 a month, but to somebody that makes 15, 20 plus, sure.
Yep.
It's enough to where I had a client that we work with. I got on a call with her and her team because something big was happening in their account. And they do $75,000 a week in sales. And the team was like, hey, Mike, is there a way that we could set up a group chat? And she was like, no. You don't get to just talk to the CEO. You talk to his employees if you have issues. And I was like, man, what a great client of mine to put her team in place to where it's like, no, you can't contact the CEO of the company because you have an account issue.
Yep.
Isn't it
And I was
crazy?
like, I need more people that understand that.
Isn't it crazy? Like, do you guys see too that, like, the more you charge people, like, the more one individual pays you, the less work you generally have to do for them?
Oh,
Yeah,
totally.
In my world, it's like the $500 client a month is your worst client ever, and your $50,000 client a month just goes, let me know when you need me.
Mhm. True. I mean, dude, there's these guys, there's individuals who I've coached where, you know, they're still paying me grandfather rate of $300 a month. And they're skipping check-ins all the time. And they're always telling me, complaining about this, complaining about that, reaching out to my personal number instead of on WhatsApp, you know, and I'll take some responsibility for that as well by, you know, kind of blurring the lines sometimes as well with, you know, allowing them to reach out to my personal number. But like, these are also the same people that I tell them, hey, this is how you need to think about things mentally. You got to sort of think about things. But if they already undervalue themselves, and they undervalue the guidance that I'm giving them, because they themselves only look at things as a price point. They only look at things as $300 a month. Oh, I can afford this. Well, what happens if you can afford it a little bit less? You know, what if you are paying me $500 a month? Are you going to take this a little bit more serious? Most of the time you will. You know what I'm saying?
If it doesn't hurt, you don't adhere.
Yes. And dude, financial accountability is huge.
Huge.
Like, bro, I make this, I tell this to people all the time when it comes to a consult call, or if it comes to even a client that's already paying. Okay. It's like, yo, if you go to a car dealership and you got two cars, you got one that's, $5,000, you can pay it off right on the spot, or you got one that's $40,000 and you got to finance it. That one that you buy that's $5,000, you're not going to treat it the same as the one where you have to finance it, and the bank actually owns it.
We're gonna wipe the rims every 2 days. We're gonna keep it cleaner. Yeah.
You're going to be putting the good fuel in it. You're going to be doing the maintenance with it. You're going to be bringing it into the dealership so they can work on it when they, like all these things. It's the same concept with financial accountability with a coach. If you are paying your coach, $200 a month, most of the time, and they're a good coach. Like let's have the caveat of like they are a good coach, so they're qualified for your level, etc. If you're not seeing your fucking results, then most of the time it's because you're not putting the effort that you need to be putting in, because you're not financially accountable, and you don't see the value behind anything that you're being told to do. And then you end up blaming the coach then, but you just have a terrible habit of not looking in the mirror and realizing that you're the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nick, repeat the question for me one more time.
The question was, let me pull it back up here. One belief about pricing that coaches need to unlearn.
One belief about pricing that coaches need to unlearn. That I think this isn't like necessarily unlearned, but I think that more coaches should set a baseline for their monthly recurring before they ever think about selling a PIF.
Totally.
And I say that from personal experience because I didn't do that. And then I ended up in a position to where it was very important to have a monthly recurring. And Mike is a perfect example of this. He's always like AR live and died by that. And I think that for one, you shouldn't full-time coach until you have a monthly recurring of 10 grand a month minimum, or whatever it is that covers all your bills plus some. Two, you shouldn't be selling PIFs until you have a monthly recurring of that.
Yep. I agree with that for sure. I'll usually push towards a PIF if I'm sensing that on the consult that this person may flake.
Yes.
The only times I like to do the PIF model is usually where we cover our bills and then you force into reoccurring. So the beginning of the month, cover our bills and then build the business. Cover our bills and then sell the reoccurring, build the business. If we need a cash injection for whatever reason, a hire, this, that, whatever. If you're like have some risk tolerance. If you don't have risk tolerance, don't do that. Just do monthlies.
Mm-hmm.
We got to build a business around the person, not the person around the business.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, boys, that was a hell of a podcast, guys. That was awesome. Yes. I'm glad we got back on it.
Let's script in questions more often next time. I think that's gonna be really good.
I agree, dude. I like.
So you guys can just go to a story. We'll post it. Typically go the day before, and then be helpful
like today. And but yeah, today I like to recap. We all got huge things going on. Mike, I will see you Saturday at Chicago. We'll chat for a little bit down there. And other than that, guys, this is another episode in the books. I hope everybody has a good week. Peace.
Thanks, guys. We can make it happen.
That'd be awesome.